Today's session is going to be seated. You can do this in a chair with or without arms. It's just whatever you have. We're going to be really flexible with this practice today. So we're going to begin in a seated position in our chair, and let's just make sure that we're comfortable. We're sitting up nice and tall. You can rest your hands in your lap, palms up, palms down. It's just whatever feels comfortable for you right now. We want to have our feet on the floor. Ideally, we just want to have our feet right up underneath our knees and our knees in alignment with our hips. So again, nice tall spine, hands comfortable, and then if you want, you can close your eyes. We're just going to transition from our day into our practice. So eyes closed, or just find something to rest your focus on. And we're just going to do a little head to toe inventory without changing anything, adjusting anything, just taking a few moments to check in and see how we feel today. So let's just take a little bit of time here and check in with the body. Maybe we notice a little tightness somewhere, or maybe we feel a little pulling somewhere, or we feel pretty good. So now we're going to shift our awareness to the breath. And without any force or effort, we're just going to simply rest the awareness on the breath, in and out through the nose. And some things we may notice in the breath is the temperature. As the breath enters the nose, it may feel cool as it comes in. And then on the exhalation, it may feel warmer. And then let's see if we can lengthen the breath a little bit more, maybe a little fuller exhalation, a little deeper inhalation to the belly. We can even place a hand over the heart, just checking in with how the body moves when we breathe. Sometimes this helps us stay grounded in the moment when we place our hand over our heart. So let's just stay here for a couple more breaths. Using our pranayama, our breath work, to get us grounded and present. And now we're going to connect our movement with our breath. So this rhythm that we've established is what I hope you can maintain throughout the practice. If not, it's no big deal. We just always bring that awareness back to the breath. So we're going to begin with some gentle movement in the neck and the cervical spine. So moving with the breath, we're going to begin on the exhalation. So on the exhale, we're just going to gently drop the chin down towards the chest without any force. Just a nice gentle movement, noticing how it feels. And then when we're ready to transition to the inhalation, nice and slowly moving with that inhale, we're going to lift the chin. And we're just going to let the front of the throat open up. And we're only going to take that head back as far as it feels okay. So we want to keep it safe. So again, on the exhalation, gently, slowly moving with that exhale, dropping the chin down to the chest. And when we're ready for the inhalation, we're going to lift the chin, opening the front of the throat. So let's move like that for the next few breaths. Just exhaling down, dropping the chin nice and softly. Inhaling as we lift the chin up, letting the head drop back. Just noticing how that feels. What kind of sensations do we create in the body with this movement? We always want to protect our joints. Our first yama and the first limb of the 8 limbs of yoga is ahimsa, which is the practice of nonviolence or do no harm. So that's always good to begin with ourselves. So I hope that's feeling pretty good. We're going to bring that head back to center on the next inhale. And this time on the exhale, we're just going to do a gentle drop of an ear to a shoulder. So whichever side you want to start on is fine. Again, we're still moving with the breath. And on the inhalation, we're bringing the head back to center. And on the exhalation, we're going to drop the other ear down to the shoulder. Again, we don't want to force this movement. We just want to gently drop, inhaling up, exhaling down. So this is a nice little side stretch in the neck. Again, it helps us tap into how our body feels. It's a nice and gentle movement as we drop the ear side to side. Taking care of the neck. For some of my yoga students, this is when we start noticing that maybe it's time to invest in a new pillow that we're sleeping on. All right, so the next inhale, we're going to bring the head back to center. If we need to lengthen that spine a little bit more, we can. So let's take a good deep breath here. This time on the exhale, we're going to do a gentle twist. So we're just going to turn to one side, taking the chin over the shoulder, or just as far as it feels comfortable for you. And again, on the inhalation, undoing the twist, bringing the head back to center, and then exhaling to the other side. So as you can see, I'm moving pretty slowly in this movement. Just really tuning in and connecting that movement with the breath. I hope this feels pretty good for you and your neck. All right, so on the next inhale, we're going to bring it back to center. So hopefully that feels pretty good. All right, so we're going to shift our focus down to the shoulders now. So what we're going to do is we're just going to reach the arms out to the side. And if you want to come off the back of your chair and just sit nice and tall on your sit bones, you can. And this is just going to be a simple, slow rotation, rotating the palms up on the inhale and rotating the palms down and back on the exhale. So if you've picked up on it, we're inhaling up and exhaling down. So again, moving with the breath, connecting that movement, inhaling up, exhaling down. So if this creates a little too much tension on the neck, you can always bring a little bend to the elbows, just kind of shorten that lever a little bit, and we can still do that rotation. All right, so this time, if you want to scoot your hips out to the edge of your chair, give yourself some room to either side. We're going to do some big arm circles, and I don't know how big I'm going to be able to make mine with the arm on my chair, but we'll do the best we can with where we are. So on the inhale, we're going to lift the arms nice and tall. When we reach the top, we should feel some lengthening down the side bodies. We're going to sweep those arms back and down. My desk is in the way. So inhaling up and exhaling down. Oops. So just let this move with the breath. Again, moving that body with the breath. Inhaling up, nice and tall, exhaling down. We can sweep those arms back and down. Again, for some of us, our shoulders may be a joint of concern or that we're protecting it. So just remember to move by listening to your body. So if your body doesn't want you to open your arms as wide as what I'm doing right now, you can always shorten it. Shorten that movement. So just continuing to move with the breath. And on the exhale, we're going to come back to our nice tall seated position. Now we're going to bring some attention to the side bodies. We're going to lengthen the side bodies. So with that, we're going to inhale, lifting the arms up overhead. Good deep breath in. And then this time, as we exhale, we're going to pull one elbow down. And on the inhale, we're going to reach just a little bit taller with that extended arm. So we want to keep that torso kind of rotated. So we're opening up that front body. On the exhale, we're going to bring that elbow down and inhaling opposite arm up and over. So when we're doing the up and over, we want to avoid collapsing that front body. It's all about opening the front body and the side when we're doing these extensions through the side. So exhaling, pulling that elbow down, and on the inhale, lifting, keeping that heart open. And again, moving with the breath, inhaling up, nice and tall, lengthening that side, exhaling down. Beautiful. This feels really good on the side bodies. And if we ever have experienced being startled or maybe experienced a little bit of something that could be traumatic, typically the side body as a defense mechanism in the body, we have a tendency to want to collapse and protect. And these muscles remember that. So this is a really good movement to bring some lengthening and opening in those side bodies. Okay, so let's just relax those arms, bring those hands down to the lap. This time we're going to add a little spinal twist. So with the spinal twist, we're also twisting the torso and all the organs that are involved in the torso. Think gut, think GI. And spinal twists, whether you're doing them on the floor or in the chair, are really good for GI motility. But it's also really good for the spine and any tension that we may have in the spine. So again, just listening to the body, going as deeply into the twist as feels good for you, that feels safe for you. So we're going to begin with lengthening through the sides. On the inhale, we're going to bring the arms up on the inhale, reaching tall. Good deep breath in through the nose. When we're ready for the exhale, we're going to twist through the torso. And this is where it's good if you've got a good back on your chair. If not, we'll adapt. We want to drop that back arm behind the chair. And if you don't have an arm on your chair, you can just place that opposite hand to opposite thigh and kind of help with the leverage. So even though we're in a twist, we still want to keep the spine tall. So what we want to avoid is kind of collapsing into the twist and dropping the head. We want to keep the spine tall and the heart open. Once we've kind of come into the twist as much as it's safe through the torso, then if we want and it feels okay, we bring the head into it, just turning to look as far back behind us as it feels okay. And then we release on the inhale, back with the arms overhead. So good deep breath in, arms overhead. And then exhaling to the other side. And then with these seated spinal twists, you can move with the breath where you're inhaling, arms up overhead to the center, nice and tall. Exhaling to the twist, basically one breath, one movement. Or if it feels good to hold that twist and give one side or the other maybe a little bit more time in the twist, think inhaling, lengthening the spine, exhaling, deepening the twist. Again, listening to the body, only taking it as far as it feels safe and comfortable. So let's stay here for a few more moments, just really focusing on releasing the spine and the twist. Moving with the breath. Finding some length down the side bodies. And maybe holding that twist just a little bit longer. And then on the inhale, we'll bring it back to center. And then we're going to shift our focus down to the hips. So again, depending on what kind of chair you're in, we just want to kind of scoot those hips out to the edge. Now, this is a really good deep twist for your hips. So if you're seated, maybe you're at work or you're waiting somewhere where you've been sitting for a while, this is a really nice stretch for the hips, and it's a good deep stretch. So we're going to start with this right side, and we're going to bring that right ankle to rest on top of the left knee. So it's important to keep that right foot flexed, which is going to help keep the muscles active and protect the knee. For a lot of people, this posture is plenty to hold. This has got enough intensity into the hip, but if you want some more intensity, if you want to deepen this stretch, we can hinge through the hip, leading with the heart, and come forward a little bit. So just gently placing our hands on this crossed leg. You want to keep the spine tall, shoulders back, good deep breath in. And then exhaling, hinging through the hip. We always want to lead with the heart when we come forward. And just bringing it as far forward as it feels safe, as it feels comfortable. This is just to intensify the stretch. Again, we want to lengthen the spine. Whenever we come forward like this through a hinging of the hip, we want to avoid collapsing the spine and rounding the back. We always want to keep the shoulders back. Let the heart go first. And just bring it forward. So we'll hold this for just a few more breaths. Let the breaths be long and smooth like we established at the beginning. And then on the inhale, we're going to come up and release and switch sides. So let's bring that right foot down to the floor. This time we're going to bring the left ankle on top of the right knee. We're going to flex that left foot. And again, if this is enough intensity, we can keep it here and just keep the breath nice and long and smooth. If we want to intensify the stretch and take it a little bit deeper, just gently placing the hands on this cross leg, shoulders back, heart first, and then hinging on the exhalation, coming forward. And just bringing it as far forward as it feels comfortable and safe to intensify the stretch. Remember to keep this left foot flexed, spine lengthened, and we're going to keep the breath nice and smooth. And then on the inhalation, we're going to release, coming up. Let's bring that left foot down to the floor. And then we're going to shift all the way down to the feet and the ankles. We're going to show them some attention. So we can lift them both up off the floor, and we're just going to do what's called ankle pumps. We're just going to flex and extend, flex and extend. So if you ever find yourself on a long car ride or a long flight, or you've been sitting somewhere and you can't really get up and stand or walk around, if you can extend your legs and flex and extend your feet and give the ankles a little attention, this really helps with return venous blood flow to the heart, because gravity has a tendency to let that really collect in the extremities, the lower extremities, when we're in those particular situations. So just a simple ankle pump really makes a big difference. And then if we want to get kind of crazy with it, we can do heel together, big toe together. So what this is going to do is get the I want to say flexion and extension, but it's like the rotation in the hip when we bring heel and big toe together. So that's good. And then we just bring them down to the floor and let them rest. And that's it. That's a pretty quick practice. So let's just settle it down with the way we started. So just let the back rest up against the back of your chair. Let your hands rest gently in your lap, however you want them. Feel free to close your eyes or rest your eyes on a focal point. We're going to bring the awareness back to the breath, in and out through the nose. And then letting the awareness shift to how the body feels right now. Feel free to stay in this moment as long as you need it. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.